friends, my name is Kim and this is my knitting podcast, Cast On and Carry On, to where I talk about everything I'm learning and doing and exploring as a new knitter. So thank you so much for joining today. If it's your first time, or welcome back. If you are a subscriber or just coming back, thank you. It means so much to me. Today I'm going to talk about my 2026 goals. I made a little bingo board. It's not a pure bingo board, I'll be honest, because 25 things felt a little bit overly ambitious, so I just cut a row off, and it's a 5x4, so it's 20 things. I don't know why 20 things feels more manageable to me than 25, especially when one of the, usually the center square is like a freebie, so it's really 24, but it just does. Now I'm planning on printing this, but I'm out of ink. As you can see, this looks gross and yellow and gross. So I'm going to have it up on screen so I can actually read it a little bit, but not great. But my goal is to print this out, cut it out, and then behind me this is my knitting area. This is like my office. This is me in my office and guest room and yarn area, and this is my kind of yarny setup that's behind me in the background of my office when I'm at work. I have this here. Oh, I should move it this way, but I have a photo frame that's ready for this to be printed out and put up there, and then it have glass so I can use like a dry erase marker to check things off as I do them. But I will put this up on screen. I'll put my actual board up on screen. For now, I think I have it on my computer, which is not on this one. I want it over here. Okay. And maybe, can you see it? I don't know, can you? Okay, yeah, it's not great. It's pretty blown out. You can't really see that, but oh well. That is my 2026 Five Birds bingo board behind me. I will formally put it up on screen so you can see it, because this is sad. But it's right here. Actually, I'm going to keep this over here because I need to be able to look at it, and since that's going to be behind me. Okay, so like I said, I picked 20 things. It's a 5x4. Okay, this is obnoxious. And I'm really excited to go through it. These are some of my goals for the year, and we'll see how many I get to this year. Hopefully I can get through all of them, but who knows? We'll see. Before I get into that, I wanted to give you a little bit of a progress update on my Delft pullover, which is right here next to me. And I might knit on it a little bit as I talk. I am doing the sleeves right now, and I'm doing them a new way for me with magic loop. So I'm doing both at the same time. I don't know if I like this, to be honest. It's like getting some weird laddering at each spot, but then as I get further down, you don't really notice it, like you can see, I don't know if you can see here, like there's, maybe use this one, this is probably better. So you can see there's some laddering here. Can you see that? I don't know. But then as you get kind of down, you don't see it as much. I don't know. I can't decide if I like this method or not, but I was dumb, and when I finished my cardigan, I didn't put my mini needles away, so somewhere in my house there is the other piece of this kit, like one of the larger of the two cords, because I only have the smallest cord in here right now, and I need the larger one. So, because like this is a little too small for the sleeve, I think. So I decided to try the magic loop method, and it's going all right, but I don't love it. Okay. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at with this. I'm getting really close. I want to see if I can finish it this week, because my next episode I want to be like at the end of February, and then it'll be like 1 year of knitting, and I can count this as my 1 year of knitting. That is kind of my thought there, and what I'm hoping for, but we will see. Okay, so for my knitting goals, I am just going to go left to right and then down. Okay, So my first is to knit a colorwork sweater, which I will admit kind of feels like a little bit of a cheat because this bad boy is going to be done soon and it's going to be, I'm going to be able to cross that off, my colorwork sweater with my Delft, which is just gorgeous. I'm hoping she blocks out a little bit. I keep having an issue. I think I'm just really still bad at gauging, where when I think they're going to block out, they don't necessarily, and that's disappointing. This is a little bit more form-fitting than I wanted it to be. No, I put it on and Chase was like, no, I like this length. I think this looks good. So fingers crossed, you know, I mean, it didn't look bad. It wasn't too tight or anything like that. It just wasn't quite what I wanted, you know? But that is number one. Number two is finishing a whip from last year, which I have a couple, bags hanging here that I'm going to like. The whip I'm going to finish, I think, first. And my main whip. I think one of the other two whips I'm probably going to frog, to be honest. But it's my, my penis waffle socks. These are going to be a gift for a friend. And I've still only got the one done. They're not perfect, but she will like them anyway. And I'm almost done with the first one. And then I have to do the second one. I'm going to be seeing her, I hope, in April. So I'm hoping to get this done by then. Both of them, obviously, not just one. So that is my whip from last year that I would like to finish. The next thing I have is knitting a pair of sailor slippers. I bought so much yarn last year to make sailor slippers, and I haven't knit them yet. So that is a goal for this year, is to actually knit those. I'm excited about them. I've got stuff to make a pair for myself. I've got stuff to make a pair for my husband. I would like to do that this year. That's a goal. Take a technique course. I have done that already, to be honest. So there's another one on here too that I've already done because I went to Unraveled over the weekend and did a workshop. A couple friends of mine went with me and we just went for the day and did like some exploring, and then we each took a workshop. And yes, so I took the Intarsia in the Round workshop by Sylvia Cherry Watts. I had taken her, sorry, this is my bag that I took with me. I had taken her workshop in the fall as well about Intarsia in general. Where the heck is this? Here it is. Nope, that's just yarn. Okay. So I took the Intarsia in the Round class, which was interesting. It was challenging. It was more challenging than the first one. My friend was a little bit more of a beginner than I was. So I was kind of trying to help her as well. In just like color work. She hadn't done a lot of color work. And usually uses chunky yarns. So it was a little bit of a challenge for me too, to like join in the Round. And then it's interesting. It's definitely just like a lot of, it's funny because Intarsia in the Round is a lot of purling as well. So you're like, you do one row of knitting and then you do one row back of purling. So you catch where your yarn is ending so that you get a clean back like this without floats. It was a challenging course. I enjoyed it. I felt like I learned quite a bit. I will probably unravel this though. Like this isn't a real pattern for anything. I mean, I guess I could keep going and make it like a thing, but it's pretty messy because I was trying to do it in this workshop and the workshop was a little haphazard because it wasn't like super structured and like, now we're doing this, now we're doing this, now we're doing this. It was instead like people at different levels and at different times, and so she would teach, like this group over here had already gotten their cast on done and this group over here hadn't, so she would like tell everyone over here how to do it, and then when these like the next steps, and then when this group is done she would walk over here and tell them the next steps. It was back and forth, and then like you didn't know when she was trying to talk to the whole class versus a small group. It was a little confusing, but I like Intarsia, I think. But I've not actually done it yet. Like I've done this little sample, which is just a little cuff-like thing, and then the sample from before last class, which like I said, I think I'm gonna frog and use that yarn for something else. I don't know yet. I mean, I could finish it, but who knows? I love this yarn that they gave us though. Like there was yarn included in the workshop, and I really like how this feels. I think it's like it has some blue face luster in it. I think that's how you say it. I think that's what it's called. And I really like it. So I think I'm going to try to get some, maybe not of this specific yarn, but some blue face luster this year. Maybe knit with that. Okay. I also am here knit a holiday sweater because I haven't done that yet. Like I said, my green cardigan, my green jean cardigan. Anyway, that is such a bright green. I probably could count that as a holiday sweater. I'm just kind of what I'm going to do. But I want to do a real holiday sweater this year. Last year I was looking and trying to decide what I wanted. And I have to remember this year I probably have to start it in the summer, you know. But I'm thinking I might want to do a doodle sweater because I just think they're so cute. And so I love how customizable they are. So I'm thinking that's the direction I'm probably going to go with it. Okay, my next one is to dye my own yarn. So in the fall, in autumn, when I went on Autumn and Ravelry, I signed up for that like 12-month dyeing course, like Dyeing Made Easy, and I haven't done anything from it yet. I just keep getting the boxes each month and haven't actually done it, and I want to, you know? So I think I have 5 months worth of boxes there to open, look through the process and work through. And so that's one of my goals for the year is to actually dye some yarn, dye my own yarn. My next one here is to make a tank. And this one I've actually been like kind of obsessing about a little bit since Saturday when I went to Unravel, because I think I'm going to do the Hawthorne tank by Caitlin Hunter, which I had featured in my last video. And so when I was there, I was like, I'm going to look for a yarn in like that I can buy here at the festival to make this, and I wasn't really able to find like a good cotton linen blend like I wanted. So and that's fine. I will I'll keep searching. I was really a bit sad though because there was Stephen and Penelope, which is a shop from Amsterdam, was there. I think it's Stephen West, like the one he's based out of, or like it's his shop, I think. He was there, or they were there, and they had this like gorgeous magenta color, and my friend bought enough of it to make a tee, and I wanted it in a tank, but again, it wasn't the right yarn blend, and since I run so warm, I couldn't do a tank top in anything too warm, or I would die. So that is something I'm hoping to do though. So I'm still trying to find the right yarn for that. If anyone has a good like cotton, linen, silk, or bamboo blend that you think would work well for a tank top, let me know. I want it to be a little bit more like bright and fun and summery. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know. I also want to knit a pair of souvenir socks. I buy sock yarn as a souvenir everywhere I go, and I've got plenty of them over here. I think. I don't know where they are, but I have quite a few of them. I want to knit at least one pair of those up. I did a couple last year, so again, the ones I knit last year are in my bedroom right now and not in my sock board. But that is something I would like to do, is to knit up at least one pair of souvenir socks, because I just think it's such a fun thing to purchase, and I want to use that yarn that I purchased and I love. Okay. I want to frog a project. So I already know probably what I'm going to frog. It's going to be that god awful sweater I started, like t-shirt that I started for my husband last year that just didn't work. And it's just too short still. The one that I frogged in a previous episode, and then I knit like the whole darn thing again, and it's too short still. I'm probably going to frog that one. I don't like it for myself. People are like, it would fit me. I don't like it for myself. So it's probably what I'm going to frog, and then maybe try again for him. Third time's a charm, right? Like, I also made a mistake on one of them. I know I did, like on one of those panels. So I think that's it. That's what I'm going to do. It's a big frog project. I also have that other sample of Intarsia that like I said, it's like a cushion cover kind of thing. So I might frog it. I might finish it. I don't know, but that's what I might do. Okay. I also want to knit a piece of decor. So like when I was setting this area up with like to make it more cute and be closer to the window for some natural light, I saw a couple patterns. What were they? Actually, like, let me look. Since I have my computer right here, I can just pull up Ravelry. What? No, that's not what I wanted. Looks like my screen is sharing. Why would my screen be sharing right now? Anyway. So, I bought patterns for 2 things. I don't even think they're on Ravelry now that I say this out loud. It's on my Dropbox. Because I keep all my purchase patterns on my Dropbox as well. Okay, the first is the candy lamp, which is it's like a cover for an IKEA globe lamp knit out of mohair. And so I think I want to make that. I think it looks really cute. It's like this little stripy thing. So I'll put that up so you can see it. I think it's super cute. So I want to knit that. I bought that pattern. I also, when I was buying that pattern, I saw the small jellyfish lamp. And I'm obsessed with jellyfish, okay? I'm just obsessed with them. So I want to make a couple of them and hang them down this corner behind me. So one of those I think will be this year for knitting my piece of decor. I want to knit some colorwork socks. I haven't done it yet. I really want to. In fact, I bought a yarn because later at the end of this, I'll show you some of the things I got, what I purchased at Unravel. But I bought a yarn that I think I will be using for some colorwork socks. I'm leaning towards, I think I want to make, I don't know. I don't know. Because there's just so many options. Okay. So I'm going to knit something from one of these books. You know, the Charming Colorwork Socks or Joyful Colorwork Socks, both by Charlotte Stone. One thing, really quick before I get into that. Can I show you something that's annoying to me? I hate when books aren't the same size when they should be. Like, these should be the same size, frankly. Why are they not? They're the same publisher. Same designer. Same... Sorry, that's like my dog sounding like she's dying over there. Same publisher, same designer. Why is one smaller than the other? Like, width-wise. Drives me crazy. I mean, it's not as big a deal for these, but you know what really gets me is, like, when you're buying a series and you can't get all the same binding, or, like, you get one that's, like, the larger and that... Or you get half in hardcover and half in paperback. Can't deal with it. Can't. It's got to be the same binding and everything. But, anyway, I think I can't really decide, like, which ones I want to make. But as you saw me, like, freak out about them last episode with my, with wanting to get the clear rain boots. Sorry, I forgot what I was talking about apparently in the middle of talking. Anyway, I want to do that this year. I'm going to buy them. I'm going to make some colorwork socks so I can wear them. I'm just not sure which colorwork socks I want to make yet. Now, I'm pretty certain I will probably make the jellyfish socks. I think, are they in this one? Are they? I don't know. I don't know if they're in her book. In the books. It's fine. I will buy it if not. I think the frog ones are cute. The carrot ones are so cute. Jocko, get out of my bag. There's nothing in there for you. I know I had a sandwich in there at one point in time, but it's not there anymore. I'm still deciding. Basically which ones I want to make. The frog ones are cute. And here she is with, you know, with her clear rain boots that just triggered such an obsession for me last time. So cute. The fish ones are cute. They're all cute. That's all there is to it. So, I don't know. I just don't know what I want to make yet. But I want to do it. I love these ones. I love the skulls. Oh, anyway. Okay. But yes, I'm going to make a pair of colorwork socks sometime this year. That is a goal. What else? Knit a cable knit sweater. Now, I've already talked about that. I have the yarn. It is right here. I have the pattern picked out. It's the Agio knit. What one is it? the Agio sweater. I don't know how you say it. Aegyo, Agio, whatever. Agio sweater, that is what I'm going to do. My plan was to do it once I finished this. So I have the yarn for it to do that. But now I'm thinking that it might be time to get started on some of my warmer weather knits because it's February, summer is coming, spring and summer is coming. Don't disabuse me of that notion. So I think that I might finish this and maybe look at knitting a summer piece. Yeah, so that would mean I couldn't remember where it was. That would mean I'd have to put off my cable knit sweater until it was closer to time for being chilly again. I don't know. Maybe I might start it in the summer so it'll be ready for fall, the autumn, but I'm not sure. Okay, I want to make a knit for a charity or a donation. I love that idea. My grandma apparently used to do that. She used to knit like, I think my mom said she had a charity she worked with that she would make sweaters for preemie babies. And I love that. So I would love to do something like that, give back in that way. I've also in the past done like the big cathedral knit here in London, which everyone goes to the Southwark Cathedral, and it's like a 4-hour knitting, and you knit squares to make patchwork blankets for the unhoused. So I've done that in the past, and I will probably try to do that again this year and do that, but I also want to knit like a full piece. I've seen a lot of hats for charity. I've seen a lot of things like that. You know, the guy that knits sweaters for penguins, or that knitted before he passed away, like the cutest thing ever. Okay, I want to do something like that. I also want to knit a baby project. So a very good friend of mine here in London is due to have a baby sometime over the summer. Now, a summertime baby makes things a little bit more difficult because like knitting stuff is better suited for for fall and winter and spring. But I also, every time I go to like a baby shower, I usually get stuff for babies that are older, like the 6 month and stuff like that, because I feel like so many people buy stuff for a newborn and they get all this stuff for all this clothing for newborns, and then they can't wear them that much because they grow so quickly, I guess. And then as they get older, they don't have clothing anymore. I mean, obviously they will buy clothing. It's not a problem, but it's just a nice kind of thing. So I don't know if I'm going to make some little baby socks or little baby hat. I love the bear hat. There we go. The little bear hat. I've seen some really cute bloomers. I found an adorable blanket with sheep on it that is just so cute. I've actually started a whole Ravelry board of baby ideas. Maybe I'll do an episode about some of my favorite baby ideas if anyone's interested in that, with my pattern roundups. But yeah, so I'm going to knit something, I think, for that. And then my friend, so I work with her, and one of her, someone else at work reached out to me, and they're like, hey, do you want to knit something together? And I was like, I'm definitely already planning on knitting something. So like, yes, let's do something. So she'll probably get something. She's like in my friend group, and I work with her. So it'll probably be like a thing at work where I give her something, and then a thing with her, like a baby shower with our friends where I'll give her something. In a similar vein, I want to make a gift knit. Now, I have a couple ideas for gift knits. I have things here that the penis cake waffle socks were going to be a gift. I'd like to make a pair of socks for another friend. I was looking at some colorwork socks that have dinosaurs on them because she's a big dino freak. So I was thinking of that. I mean, baby stuff would be a gift. I don't want to double up too much, like I just feel like it's a little cheating to be like, oh, I want to knit a sweater for my husband. It's on here later on. And it's a gift. Or I want to make a pair of sailor slippers for my husband, and it's a gift. I don't want to cheat like that and like double up. The one time I'm kind of doubling up, you'll see next, because the next one is attend a Fiber Fest, which I did on Saturday for the year. And I'm kind of counting it as cheating because I went to the Fiber Fest and I took the technique course there. So I'm going to cross both of those out as soon as I get this printed. The ink is supposed to come on Wednesday, like the right ink. I bought ink for my printer, but I brought this printer. I brought this printer with me from the States, and I bought ink online for it, like on Amazon. And the ink doesn't. Now, I think the ink I bought, it says it works for this printer, but it doesn't. I think it's like the European version of this. Like, it's the same number, but it's got a different number for its ink or something. So I was able to find the right ink. I hope I can return this ink to Amazon because it's like 50 quid and I can't use it. So we'll see. I have opened it and tried to install it and my printer was like, doesn't recognize it, so they might not let me, but who knows. But yes, so attending a Fiber Fest, did that Saturday when I went to Unravel. It is so funny. It is like so overwhelming when you go. Like, and then when we got out of our workshop at 4 and it was open for another hour, it was like empty. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could have come later and not felt like I was so packed in by people. But so I had a good time with my friends. Also, that little town, Farnham, it is just so cute and so creative. Like, I was there and I was like, I could live here. Like, I could move to this little town. It's an hour out of London. And I came back and was like, yeah, talking to my husband. I was like, Farnham. And he's like, oh, I've been there. Really? And he was working with somebody that lived out there, so he would have to take the train out there. And so he'd been there a couple times. He's like, I lived there. And I was like, oh, okay. I want to stay in London. But I don't know. My best friend in London is moving out of London. She's moving north, maybe to Leeds. And I don't know. I don't want to move out of London. But I really like that area. And, you know, it's like more affordable. So someone was like, oh, it's pricey out here. I'm like, have you looked at the prices in London? It is not pricey in London, or compared to London. It's much cheaper. You get more bang for your buck. Yeah, come on. You get a whole garden or yard, however you want to say it. Anyway, okay. I would like to spin my own yarn. I've talked about this before. My husband, for our anniversary, got me a little drop spindle so I could try to spin my own yarn, and I have still not done it because I'm a jerk. So I would like to do that. That is on here. One of my goals for this year. I have yarn. I have fibers to spin. I bought it last Unraveled, and I would like to do that. So that's one of my goals for this year. I would like to make a summer tea. I have the yarn for it. I'm going to be using Drops. I thought I had Drops Bell, but it's actually Drops Saffron, I think. In this like fun blue color, which I hope works for me. But I'm going to make, I think, the basic tea is what it's called. Which is really funny because this is what my friend that bought that magenta yarn. No, that's not what I wanted. When my friend bought the yarn she bought at Unraveled from Steven and, so the shirt I think I'm going to do is the Freestyle shirt by Suzanne Mueller. That's what I'm planning on knitting with this yarn. And it's also the one that my friend was considering for the yarn that she bought, that magenta yarn from Stephen and Penelope. That was just so beautiful. So we're going to have similar shirts. But I'm excited to knit like a classic tee to wear. I'm pretty pumped about it. I wonder if that'll be my next thing that I knit. I don't know. Anyway. Put that yarn back. I want to knit a sweater for my husband, especially since the one I tried to knit last year didn't work out. If I frog that, maybe I'll get back onto that one and try to fix it and do it. I wonder if I can frog just half of it and just make it longer in the back and figure out a way to get some short rows in it or something to make it longer because it needs it. It just, or was it in the front? I think it was in the front. It was in the front because the back didn't have short rows, so it was riding up in the front, I think. And so, anyway, I would like to knit a sweater for my husband. I have the yarn for this. I have a pattern already. I'm considering knitting texture using some Estonian texture knitting ideas from the book I got from Estonia, and so I think I might do that. But that is a goal for this year, is to knit him a sweater. And then the last one I have here is to knit something in a single strand of lace or mohair. I just think that like really light, airy look is beautiful, and I would like to do something like that. I mean, I would also be fine with something like a double strand of mohair, like if I was holding 2 strand, you know, like, but I would like to do something like that. I think that, so Pope Vergara, I think she put up on her Instagram, I think I talked about last time, that she is doing a book with Lane Publishing. So I want to buy that book when it comes out, I think. But I also would like to make one of her pieces. And there are some that have, like, I love the beading, and some that have just mohair. And so I think I might do that. I might count that for that if I do something by her. That's what I'm thinking. So those are my goals, for 2026. My 20 goals in the second month, which means that I have 10 months to get through the 18 goals that aren't left. Which, now that I say it that way, doesn't feel very doable. But a lot of them were things, like they were spinning and they were dyeing and stuff like that. But they were all knitting objects, weren't they? Color, that's done. Finish a whip, halfway done. Did a pair of Sailor slippers, those were really fast. I've done this. My holiday sweater, I'm going to start in the summer. Make a tank, I'm going to start soon. Knit a project. Frog project. Ooh, there we go. That subtracts one from it. Knit, make a gift knit, make a baby, knit for a chart. Yeah, these are... Now that I've said this out loud, when I was making this felt manageable. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it does not feel manageable, but we will see. We will see. I can do, depending on the sweater, I can do them about a month and a half, but the other ones, like if they're fingering weight, they take much longer. So like that tee is probably going to take a month and a half to 2 months, just like my jean cardigan did and stuff like that. So 20 things probably isn't very doable if each one has to be counted individually. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, and then anyway, that's fine. I'm excited about trying. We'll see how far I get. I'll try to keep you updated on over the course of the year. The other thing I really wanted to just kind of chat about was going to Unravel. Like I said, I did that workshop, and I bought a few things I just want to share because they're fun. The first thing I bought is, I just love this idea so much. These are by Tilly Flop, and they are sock sock bands. So if you see them, they have like, they're for gift socks, and they have like this, like a little fun cute saying here, and then they have like a how to look after your socks here. And so when you make a pair of socks, you wrap them in this to give it as a gift. There's 4 of them in here. I think they are so cute. Oh, and there's a way here that you can say, like in this you can check, like if it's a hand wash, it has instruction for hand wash. If it's machine washable, there's a section for machine washable, which I think is really great. And the iron, don't iron. I don't know why anyone would iron socks, but hey, no judgment. If that's how you do your thing, do it. I think I also got from her some just general gift tags that were cute, that I liked for gift knits. That's not them. Where are they? I don't know. My dog keeps getting in here because, like, you heard me yell at him earlier. Here we go. Just some little gift tags of using, like, an abstract knit pattern and stuff like that on. So I just thought these were cute, and I got these. I also bought this gorgeous color. It's my favorite color, this teal. This is West Wool Hex. That's what my friend got. She got the West Wool in the magenta, and I got it in this gorgeous, I think it's called Oz. It's just beautiful. It is a fingering weight sock yarn. So this is where I was thinking I might make the jellyfish socks in these, and maybe use this for the base color, and then maybe one of my other, like, a variegated I have for the jellyfish. As I said, I love jellyfish, so that's what I might be doing for some of my colorwork socks. But I just, like, look at this color. It is just stunning. It's so soft. It's so beautiful. My friend bought a bunch of these to make the freestyle tee. I just think it would be too warm for me for a tee. Okay. I also bought the piece by piece book, patchwork for knitting a blanket and how to make a blanket pattern by Needle and Feather. She also does like the yearly one where you have sections that, like, for each month. I'm just struggling with words today. But you do like a 9 patch for each month. This is the piece by piece that is not about monthly, but I think it'd be, hey, if I wanted to use this to make a baby blanket, I could just make it smaller, right? Like I could go like 5 by 6 or something instead of the 12 by 12. So this could be an idea for a baby blanket as well. It's just so fun. So I got this while I was there, which I'm excited to do. I feel like it's such a good use for like a scrappy project as well, is making these like blanket blocks and then putting together a blanket. I bought some buttons because I'm a button fiend. It's a problem. But look at how pretty these buttons are. Can you see them? They're black and white with like a fern or something that was like pressed into them and then painted black. They're by Buttoned Up is the name of the company. She hand makes these. These are available, like you can put these through the washing machine, she said. They were so cute. She's also on Etsy, UK Buttoned Up. But I mean, like, I just fell in love with them. I think they're gorgeous. I don't have any plans on what to make using them yet, but I will figure out something. They're just stunning. Is that it? Is that what I bought? Is that all I bought? I really thought I was going to buy like a sweater quantity of yarn and I didn't. I think that's what I got. Yeah, that's all I bought. And then I also, like I said, I did the workshop and then I got a bunch of like small pieces of like small sections of yarn in here for that. And this is that like the Blue Face Leicester that I really liked. Here is the cute Unravel brochure. That's what I did. That's what I got at Unravel. I did really well. I didn't spend that much money. I was proud of myself. In part, again, I think I was just overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed when I was there because there's so much happening, so many people, so many beautiful yarns. I also am trying to be better about like more thoughtfully purchasing my yarns. You know that I've talked about that in the past. Like I don't really want to have a huge stash, and I've got a pretty big stash right now, I'll be honest. And I want to use those yarns before I buy more, or I want to very thoughtfully purchase the yarns. So that I didn't go crazy. Now my friend, she did. She bought 4 of these, so it was like 100 pounds, but I'm so happy for it. It is, the color she got is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I really want that color in like a cotton linen blend. I don't know. I was just reading or hearing that like sometimes they don't, like linen and cotton don't hold the dye as well. So that might be why I'm not getting like these super vibrant colors when I'm looking at it. But I don't want like a neutral, you know? Anyway, it's raining again. It's been raining off and on all day because it's never ending. It was actually stunningly beautiful. It was so nice when we went to Unravel. It was sunny out. We were like, oh, let's get something to eat. And we were looking, and like the line in front of Maltings for the coffee shop that had some like little sandwiches was so long, and we had like an hour until we had to get to our workshop, and we're like, no, let's just go out. And so we went and we walked around far enough, and we found this little bakery, and we got these like sandwiches there and cookies, and then we just went to the church that's there, and we sat on a bench and ate and chatted. It was also really like a fun little church. Like it was beautiful, but I was like, we're kind of in the cemetery. And then as we were walking through, no, there wasn't like a dedicated cemetery for this church. there were just headstones all over the church grounds. I was like, they're just putting dead bodies wherever they could fit, basically, at that point in time. Such a cute town, and it was just gorgeous out. It was sunny, and it was like probably 45 degrees, and it was so nice to be outside and eat outside after so much rain. Anyway, that's what I've been up to. That's what I'm looking forward to for the next, 10 months at this point in time, for the rest of 2026. What are your goals? What are you working on? Did you do this? I love doing a bingo board. I've done them in the past for like work goals and things like that, although I did much smaller for the work goals. But I just love the idea of that. I think it's really fun, a fun way to do it, and I can't wait to print it, get it into that frame, and so I can cross things out. In fact, depending on when I get my ink on Wednesday, I was going to try to post this video on Wednesday. I might be able to have printed it out and framed it and show you while in the video itself. I'll try to do that. Okay, that's it. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in, for watching. To those of you who've liked and commented in the past, thank you so much. It means so much to me. I had some really sweet comments on my last videos, and it makes me so happy. So thank you very much. If you want to see how these go, I mean, you can look at me on Instagram. I've not been super great about posting on Instagram, I'll be honest, but you can go and follow me on Instagram to see pictures of things as I'm working on them throughout the year. I will put that up here or tag it down below. I don't know, one of the two. And you can also feel free to subscribe to me here. It just means so much to me when people do that. Okay, thanks so much, guys. Have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you later. Bye!